My name's Kate Burford, and I'm a Shiatsu practitioner, and I live in Cornwall in the far west of England. And it's really exciting to be connected to people all over the world in this wonderful event. So how many of you have already done a class? Just put your hand up. Yeah, great, good. And then some of you are going to do some more, I guess, hopefully. So we're just going to do some self-shiatsu, really easy. We're going to be sitting down for a lot of it. We're just going to be gentle acupressure and a way of treating yourself in a really easy, accessible way. So yeah, if you want to just find a nice, comfortable sitting position, and we're going to just be sitting for a while. So you can change that, obviously, but if you want to be kneeling, I'm kneeling with a cushion between my under my bottom, but if you want to be cross-legged against a wall or on a stool, because we're going to work our hands and our face, and then we'll do our arms, and then we'll sit and do our legs, and yeah, just work through our body. Good. So we're going to just start just by breathing, just tune into our bodies, come into the present, and just notice how we're feeling. So find that nice position where your back's straight. So you're connected down through your sit bones to the floor and then to the ground. And you're lifted up through your spine. Maybe just drop your chin slightly so the back of your neck can open. And then with your mind's eye, just scan through your body just to see how you're feeling. Just notice any bits of tension. And then you can address those over the next hour. And when we check in at the end, you'll probably feel very different because we've got the peace circulating and flowing. So yeah, just notice how you are. A quick scan. And then bring your attention to your breath. Just notice what's happening with your breath. Is it shallow? Where is it? Where is it moving and enlivening your body? And then we're just going to start increasing the length of the breath, because this will help calm our nervous system, our vagus nerve, just bring us more into the parasympathetic rest and repose aspect of the nervous system. So you want to just link your tongue to the back of your mouth and breathe through the top of your mouth, the roof of your mouth, and then just breathe through your nose. So this is probably all very familiar to you. Just start with a nice long in-breath, filling up your belly with ki, oxygen, and then letting it go through the nose. And you feel your belly button coming back to your spine slightly. So breathing in, you're expanding, you're opening your belly's filling up. And as you breathe out, just letting that ki circulate through your body as the breath leaves your body. So you're in this moment, in your body, just thinking about your breath. And slowly just lengthen that in-breath. So you're breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. So maybe put your hands on your belly. This is our hara. This is our center of gravity. It's our hara in Japanese. It's our center of our energy center. Just feel the belly as you breathe in there and breathe out. And then just bring your hands a little bit higher, just under the rib cage. So you're breathing into your solar plexus as well as your belly. So you're breathing into the whole of that belly area. So you can have your hands just on the solar plexus and feel that breath coming into the whole of the lower burner, which is the lower area, and then this middle area, which is just under the ribs. Keep a nice, long, even breath. Lovely. And then just put your hands sort of on your heart and your lungs and let your breath come right from your pubic bone where you've been breathing into your belly all the way up to your lungs as well. So you're breathing in the whole of your torso. Nice long breath, breathing in and out. So we're really using the whole of our lungs capacity. And then just take your hands onto the sides of your ribs. It's just sides of your ribs here. And just feel that your ribs you want to be nice and springy. Lots of spring in them. So just a breath here. Just feel the breathing coming in. Nice, flexible ribs. Breathing in your whole torso. And then put your hands to the back of the ribs and then the back of your lungs. And just a few breaths there. So you've got your hands touching. So again, your ribs are springy. The breath is coming right to your lower lobes of your lungs. Just try and keep that length of the breath. Lovely for our kidneys as well as we breathe into the back of the lungs. Kidneys just live just the bottom of the lungs there, bottom of the rib cage. And then last hand position, just a bit more heart. Put your thumbs under your armpit. That's where the heart meridian begins. And wrap your hands around here. Yeah. And then again, just breathe in nice and long and slow. Nice and long and slow. Lovely. Okay, so hopefully already you're just feeling calmer, more relaxed, more centered, and we can start giving ourselves a shiatsu. So with little fingertips, we're going to just tap our heads, so like raindrops, just waking our head up, stimulating ki or chi or prana energy into the meridians around the head and the scalp, waking ourselves up if we're feeling a bit dozy. All the yang meridians that begin and end in the head, just tapping around the sides of the ears. And underneath the occiput at the back, just tap in under there. This is an area where lots of meridians go up into the head. We can get a little bit tight in there. So just tapping lightly under the occiput there, under the bottom of the skull. Good. And then we're just going to work our face. So just smooth across your face. So you're just pressing your fingers in and then smoothing them out. Press in and just easing out any frown lines. You don't want to be frowning. Press in, smooth out. So you're going right through the flesh onto the bone. So it's quite, best to take your glasses off if you're wearing them. Great. And then sort of pinch along the eyebrow. Just feel along the eyebrow. Just give it a bit of a pinch. Good. And then smooth along the bone above the eye. And then into the temple. Just give your temples a little massage. In facial diagnosis, this area relates to our lymphatic system and our spleen in Oriental medicine. Good. And then we're going to work the second point on the bladder meridian. And if you find the bone above your eye and just smooth along, you'll find a little indentation in the bone there. Do it with both thumbs. Just smooth your thumb along the bone. You'll find the indent, which is just perfect for a needle or a thumb. Rest your arms on the side of your body. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, just drop your forehead onto your thumbs. So you're just leaning forward. This is the second point on the bladder meridian. It's really good for frontal headaches or headaches at the occiput. And it's good for tired eyes. So it's one that you can do if you're doing lots of computer work. Just take a break if your eyes are feeling a bit of a strain. And it's good for sort of sinusitis. If it's sore, just stay with it and it'll ease as the key moves. Generally where it's sore, it means the key is blocked. And as we hold, it'll just encourage it to flow along the meridian and the pain will ease. So if it's sore, just don't judge it, just allow it to move as it will in its own time. Really relax your head onto your thumbs. Hopefully it's beginning to feel a bit easier now if it was sore. Good. And release. Lovely. Good. And then just smooth under your eyes. This area relates to the kidney meridian in Chinese medicine. So if it's dark or we've got big bags or it's puffy, that just shows our kidney energy needs a little bit of love, possibly more sleep, less stimulants. Good. And then we're just going to clear our nasal passageways a little bit. So we're going to draw our hands down our nose as we breathe in. One more. Great for clearing the nose, as is the next point, which is called welcome smell or welcome fragrance. And it's right at the widest point of the nostrils. You can use your index finger. That's the large intestine point finger. And just put them exactly as we did with this point. Well, we used our thumbs in the widest point. This point, welcome smell, is really good for sinusitis. It's really good for any sort of blockage in the nose or facial paralysis. So the same thing. Rest your fingers in there, drop your head onto your fingers. Keep that lovely long breath if you can. So you're staying nice and relaxed. It's good for any neuralgia of the face. Good. So really good if you've got blocked nose. Just release. Good. And then let's just work into this, all this masseter muscle and jaw. So this gets really blocked and tight if we're angry or not expressing ourselves. So it's really good to remove any stagnation held in all these muscles, because we use these muscles a lot for chewing and talking or not talking, holding on. So it's really good to just really work in there and get the blood moving, freeing up any stagnation that's holding in the muscles. So work in there quite strongly. You'll have a brand new face after this. You'll feel great. And then going into the jaw. So we've got the temporomandibular joint. It's a tricky little joint. And just there's a little hole when you open your mouth. Just press your point in there, fingers in that point. That's the end of the small intestine meridian. You feel that little movement in the joint. Good. And then just give your cheek, not your cheeks, your gums a bit of a massage, get the blood to the gums, really good gum health, good for your teeth. Like you're cleaning your teeth, just clean your gums. Get some blood flowing through there. Really nice, great. And underneath. And then all along the jawbone, on the corner, it might be a bit tight. Stomach meridian point right in the corner there. So massage in there. Check jaw, check wheel, I think it's called. And then push your thumbs up underneath. This is all your salivary glands. Great. So you're probably feeling your face feeling good. Yeah, give it a little stretch. How does your face feel? Does it feel nice? Feel different? Good. Just smooth down the front of your throat. So you've got meridians coming down the front of our throat. Yeah, good. And then just squeeze and pull your ear. Some nice big earlobes, depicts wisdom and a strong constitution in Oriental facial diagnosis. Traditional facial diagnosis, I should say. Good. And just squeeze around and just squeeze around the edge of your ears and just pull them a little bit. That'll just adjust any sort of tension in those cranial bones. Help your ears, that's great. Good. Lovely. So we're going to work through our body. So hopefully our face is feeling good and alive and the ki's flowing. And then just take a hand and squeeze the back of the neck. So massage in with your fingers, and you can move your neck around a little bit. Just work your fingers in one side, and the palm of your hand, the heel of your hand in the other side. Drop your head forward a little bit so you get a stretch down the back of the neck. Squeezing. Swap hands, so you're working your fingers into the other side. Move your neck to the side if you want. You're working in. Good. If you want to push your thumbs into any points under the skull, the bottom of the skull or the occiput, do that. And again, you can move your neck. So your thumbs sinking in to all those big points. There's some big points there under the skull, gallbladder points. They can be quite sore sometimes. Good. Lovely. Okay. And then just come under your clavicles. We've got lung points around here and kidney points. So just rub. So imagine you've got muscle fibers going that way. We're rubbing across them just under the shoulder bone, the collarbone, clavicle. So just rub under there. Might be a little bit sore. It's really good for moving energy in this whole area. And then just under here, got lots of lung points, the lung 1, lung 2, just working there a little bit, moving it around. Good. Anywhere your fingers can work that it feels tight, just massage into where it feels tight. If it feels soft and soggy, just hold your fingers there. That's the general idea around Shiatsu. If it's empty, we hold and that draws energy to the area. If it's tight, we sort of disperse and move it and get the energy that's stuck flowing through the whole meridian system. So it can feel quite tight under here sometimes, under these little muscles that go that way. Yeah. Good. And then just hold your elbow and squeeze into this big muscle here. This is our trapezius muscle, all this shoulders. This can feel really tight, so give it a good massage. So it's not quite as nice as having a massage from someone else, but it is still effective to move, because we do hold a lot of tension here. And if we've got headaches because our shoulders are stiff, we're holding that around our ears, it's good to massage, but also really good to tap. Tapping is really effective. If you've got a loose wrist, it's really effective for moving stagnation and tightness in these big muscles. So just tap all around as far back as you can go, all along the top of the muscle here. Keep your breath, don't hold your breath. Good. And then tap into that lung 1 area. And then we're going to tap down the arms. So we're just going to tap down the arms. So we often do this standing, we're doing it sitting today, but we tap down to the thumb. You can do it however you want, you can stand if you want. And then tap down the middle of the arms, the palm. Doing it sitting because it's easy Sunday Shiatsu. And then the heart meridian starts under here in our armpit. We can just tap in there, tap to the elbow and to the little finger. And turn your hand over and come up the back to the back of the shoulder. And just tap into that area there. That's small intestine, which is heart's partner. It just goes along the back there. And then come down the back of the middle of the arm. Brilliant. And then large intestine comes up here, up the front of the back of the arm. We're going to do some small large intestine in a moment. Just tap around your arms, just give it a nice tap, just to get all the ki flowing. It should feel quite enlivening and wakening up as you wake up, as you get everything moving. And also it's moving it away from the shoulder as well, moving it down the arm. Really good if we're feeling cold or sluggish, just really gets everything moving. And it's working on these meridians here. So it's having a whole mind-body effect because the meridians have got 4 5-dimensional personalities, not just on the physical level, they've got emotional and mental and spiritual aspects. Good. And then just notice how your arms feel. So how does this side of your body that you work feel? Is it tingling? Is it feeling bigger somehow? Just notice that sort of sensation of ki. Might feel like it's fuzzy and big, as you're more aware of the ki all around. For me, there's quite a marked difference. This is less enlivened, it's tighter. Great. Let's just start again under the clavicle on this side. So just working across those muscle fibers that are coming down. Just really work across. Good. And into that lung area, those lung points, lung 1 and 2, that are under the ribs, under the clavicle and in between the first and second rib. The first rib just in there. Might feel tight, just, yeah, good. Good. And then a nice light tapping on this lung 1 point, the start of our lung meridian. And just breathe, bring back your awareness back to your breath, because of course we're really focusing a lot on our lungs at the moment. Good lung health, it's good for our boundaries, it's good for our immune system. It's all about taking in and letting go. And then up into the shoulder, and any tension in the shoulder, tap all along. You can use your palm in your hand or a loose fist, whichever is most comfortable for you. Sometimes on the bigger areas, a loose fist is good, but a hand is equally good. And fingers if you're feeling delicate. Lovely. Roll up the side of your neck, far back as you can go. Just thinking about just moving that energy that's stuck there on, just moving it so it can circulate. We want to be creating space for things to move. Great, and then do this arm as well. So we're coming down to the thumb. And then we're coming down the middle of the arm. And then we come into the heart meridian where it begins in the armpit. Down to the elbow to the little finger. Maybe turn the hand over and we come down to the back of the shoulder there. Great. And then the middle of the back of the arm. And large intestine, which is sort of from the index finger. It comes all the way up to where we work. So it starts on the index finger, comes up to the elbow, comes up there. Good. Just shake your arms out and then shake your hands. Good, so we're going to come into doing our hands, giving ourselves a hand shiatsu. So just wash your wrists as though you're giving yourself a Chinese burn. Really good areas of the joints are often where lots of the major meridian acupuncture and shiatsu points are, because joints are bridges. So they're really important areas for encouraging the ki to move through that area. So we have lots of points here. We're not working the individual points, we're just rubbing to get the chi moving. That's good. And then just rub your hands. So you're washing your hands. We all know how to do that. Rubbing the palms, rubbing the backs in between your fingers. All in between the fingers. Yeah, good. Good. Then we're going to take each digit. So take your knuckle and just move your knuckle up and down. So this is really good if you feel like you get more stagnation there in the form of something like arthritis. It's really effective to work each finger to create space and movement and get ki and blood flowing through the area. So if you've got arthritis or you get stiff fingers, just move the knuckle around, play with it. And then take each finger and just rotate it. And then sort of squeeze and pull right to the end. We've got meridian points at the end, and you want to make sure you're squeezing. So you take it, move it, squeeze and pull. So you're bringing all the ki right to the periphery of the body. So this affects the inside of the body. So as we work the periphery, we're affecting internally. This is our heart and small intestine meridians. And then take the ring finger, fourth finger, play with the knuckle, move it around, create freedom. So there's ease and flow there. The chi can flow through the meridians. And then just rotate it, circling it, and then squeeze and pull. Squeeze and pull. You get a nice sound as your other fingers flick together. Same with this one, just move the knuckle. Really good if you use your hands in any way. Any repetitive movements you do, whether you're typing or gardening or whatever it is that might be repetitive, to work your hands is really effective. And squeeze. And you're working each meridian. You're working all the meridians that begin and end in the fingers. And great in the winter. Keep you warm right to the peripheries of each digit. Just play with the joint. Oops, you might get a little adjustment like that, a little pop. And then we're going to work the large intestine 4 point, which is the great eliminator. So we don't use it in pregnancy. It's great in labour. It's good for expelling the placenta and for bringing labour. It's high up in the webbing between the index finger and the thumb. So put your other thumb into that point. And it's called the great eliminator because it's really good for, you'll see it's up in towards the index finger. So this point is good for getting rid of anything that no longer serves us, whether that's a headache on a physical level or constipation on a physical level, or something on a more spiritual level, grief that's not serving us anymore, we're still holding on to it. It's good for things that are connected to the nose, sinusitis, sore throat, the face, because as we said, the large intestine meridian comes all the way up to that point we worked before, so it's good for drawing things out of the nose. So if it feels soggy and empty, just hold your thumb in that point. Just press your thumb in and just hold it. But if it feels a bit tighter, just massage. Allow your thumb to circle and move Good. Hope you've all got that. So you can hold these points for as long as you feel like, till you feel them shift and change. It's the mind sort of softening up. It's a great general well-being point, this point. So you can use it if you've got a headache, it's at the front of your head, or your sinuses, or if you're feeling constipated. It's a good point to use generally when you do this sort of self-massage, because it's a body strengthening point. Brilliant. And then just come onto the thumb and just massage the thumbs. This relates to our lungs. So just push your thumb along the base of the thumb. That's good. So if you were living in a very polluted city, or your lungs were very gunked up, that area might be a bit blue. That would reflect the quality of your lungs, but hopefully it's pink and circulation is good there. And then just move your thumb into the palms, just smoothing your thumb along the palm. So right in the center of the palm here, we have a point called the palace of weariness, or the palace of anxiety. It's the palace of anxiety because that's where we wring our hands, you know, if we're anxious. It's right in the middle, so you can just hold the point in the middle of the hand there. It's where your middle fingers come if you've folded them over. So this is a good point if you're feeling your breath's a bit in your chest and you want to draw it away. If you were feeling anxious and all your energy was here, it would help calm you and just bring that energy down. Yeah, it's a good point. Calms the mind and strengthens the spirit. So great if you're in some sort of waiting room and you're getting anxious to be called for whatever your appointment is. Just give this point a massage. Lovely. And then let's go on to the points on the other hand and then do the fingers. Let's go straight onto that point on the other hand. So just work it in the middle, the palace of weariness, palace of anxiety. Really good for calming palpitations. Great. And then into your thumb. Massage, push into your thumb. And then come over to large intestine 4, the great eliminator. Find that point, you push your thumb up towards your index finger bone. It's high up in the webbing, in the V of the index finger and the thumb. And just hold, if you're holding it, just really relax your shoulders. Come back to your breath. Very powerful point. Good. And then when you're ready, just come into the fingers of this hand. So taking each knuckle, moving, creating space for the chi to flow around. And then give it a rotation and then a squeeze and a pull. Some people say to me, oh, you know, they're sort of resigned to arthritis because they're old, but we don't need to be. We can keep, obviously it's connected to our diet as well, but we can really help keep things moving by just giving ourselves simple self-shiatsu. Move the knuckle, then rotate, and then squeeze and pull. That draws the ki down to the end of the meridians. Play with the knuckle, rotate, squeeze and pull. Obviously you can take more time with this if the hands are a special area for you. Good. How are you all doing? Have you done your hands? Done them all? Yeah. Just clasp your hands and just stretch them away. And then just take them up. Drop your sit bones down and don't flare your ribs. Just drop down, but stretch up through your armpits and your elbows. Great. And an on and out breath, release your hands and just twist to the side. So keep a nice open heart. So integrate your head and your arms and your hands into your torso with the breath. And raise your hands up to the middle. Change the hand clasp and just stretch up again. Lift to dropping down into your sit bones, lifting up to the heavens. So between heaven and earth, that's great. And then on an out breath, just release your hands and twist. Nice long breaths. And then bring your hands to heart position, heart center. I'm just going to do one little breathing area from here, which is the center of our heart. And we're going to work this point, this meridian, the heart protector meridian or pericardium. And it's very much about circulation. So how we circulate socially, but also how the blood circulates. I'm just going to very simply breathe as we stretch. So if you have your fingers, your hands flexed, so you're going to your middle finger, which is where the meridian ends. You've got this flex in your wrists and your palms. So we're just going to stretch out and then come back. So we'll do that with our breath a few times. So we can breathe in and stretch. Fill the chest with ki and then soften and breathe out and come back to the center. So we're breathing out and connecting. Especially if we've felt locked down and isolated, it's a really good way of circulating with other people, how we circulate socially, reaching out and then coming back to ourselves. If you want to breathe the other way, that's fine. If you want to breathe out as you stretch and in as you bring the ki, the energy of the world back into you, that's fine. Just a few breaths. We're working the pericardium meridian, around the circulation of blood on a physical level, heartbreaks and heartaches on a personal, emotional level. Let's do a couple more breaths. So you're focusing on the middle finger as you flex your wrist. And come back to the heart. Great. I'm going to move my computer because we're going to sit down on our bottoms with our legs in front of us. Great. Let's see. Lovely, so you can see my feet. So just, if you've been sitting on your legs, just bounce them on the ground. So just get a massage, bouncing them on the ground. And then a bit of windscreen wipers. Put your hands behind you, just windscreen wipe. Good, and then we're going to rotate our feet, so a nice big circle, and this is opening our hips as well. So it's a really easy way of rotating our hips, working our hip joints. Easy Sunday morning shiatsu. It's just nice big circles. You're going all the way up to your hips. Really easy way of working your legs, opening your ankles, creating space in the bones, between the bones of the feet. Good. And then go the other way. Nice big circles, nice easy way of working your hips. So big circles with your toes. Big circles of the whole of your feet. It's a really good way of just opening your hips. Good. And then just tap your feet. And up your arm, legs, indeed. Come down the side. And then just work, just massage in a bit, just work the flesh, just feel your flesh of your legs. So just give yourself a massage, just feeling the flesh, feel your bones, the knees, just feel your body, your beautiful body. Moving. Wobble your kneecaps around, give them a bit of a wobble, and then feel the flesh of your thighs. Yeah. Just tap into your bottom. Tap your lower back. Down the sides of your legs. Good, so just working up our legs a little bit. We're going to just do a little bit of foot shiatsu. So just, if you can sit like this, can you all got that flexibility? Have one. And then just, what we're going to do is, if we can put our finger into this point, just on the outside, below the outside of the ankle bone, and then just circle your ankles. So hopefully you can get to your feet. Just going to hold that point and just circle your... You all got that? Yeah, Jackie, it's just a point on the outside. If you find the outside ankle bone, and then just put your finger in just a point underneath and just circle. Doesn't matter if you can't get it. It's a gallbladder point that helps us make the next step. It can be quite sore in the points under there. We're just circling the ankles. We want to create space between all those tarsal bones so the energy can move through. Keep us grounded on our feet. Good, good circles. And then just take your feet and just, however you can get to them, hopefully you can all get to them, and just give them a good rub. So just like we did with our hands, just warming everything up, circulating the chi by movement and heat. And then with your fingers, work in between these long bones on the top of your feet. So just moving your foot around and just working into these long bones. So in between them, we can get lots of stuck energy in here, and it can feel quite sore. So this is really good. Any foot massage is really good for bringing the energy down, particularly if we get headaches or we're stuck in our head. It can really help us feel more grounded, more at ease, less in our minds. So work in between those long bones, down the meridians to the toes. That's good. And then take your thumbs into the feet and just pad around your pads of your toes with your thumbs. Pad all around the sole of your foot with your thumbs. Brilliant. Really good for helping us connect to the grounded nature of the earth. It supports us, nurtures us. Great. And then we can do with the toes what we did with the fingers. Just take each digit and just sort of circle and then squeeze and pull. Just circle each toe. We won't spend as long on that as we did with the fingers. They're shorter anyway. And just squeeze and pull. Give your big toe a bit of a flex. Just move it both directions. That's good. And if you can get your fingers between the big toe and the second toe, that's quite a nice place. Well, it might not be so nice because it can be quite tight and painful. It's a liver point. It's good if we get cramps. This point in the webbing between the big toe and the second toe. It's a good point for cramps. It's a good point for headaches, migraines, just in there. Quite sore on me. Be sore if you've had a bit of alcohol the night before because your liver's working that through. Or if you're feeling frustrated or irritable, it can be very sore because there's all qualities of our liver energy. It's really good to work in there. Good. So hopefully you've rotated your ankle, you've rubbed, you've worked some points. Hopefully that foot's feeling nice and alive. Just have a little feel and notice your 2 feet. Hopefully the one you work feels sort of tingly and sparkly. Let's do the other one. So start with rotating. If you want to put your finger into that point on the outside of the ankle, just below it, do that. If not, you can just rest your foot. If you can't reach your foot to do it with your hand, just do it like that. So you're thinking about creating space. All the time we just want space so the energy can move. So you're thinking about space between all those little bones in the ankle. Go in both directions. Good. Give it a good rub. Really good foot massage before sleep as well. So if we don't sleep well, it's really good to do our feet because it brings the energy down, grounds us. And then just, yeah, move the foot around, get those fingers in between those long bones. Always sore on me, so always worth doing. So try not to judge myself that it's sore, but just think, yeah, I must do this more because my good old feet support me. I need to give them some love. So right in between them, and then each digit, each toe, just rotate. Flex the big toe a bit. Squeeze and pull right down to the bottom of each toe. And working between the base of the toes, that's a really good place to work as well. Right in the base. Same with the fingers. Points in there. And then just thumbs into the sole, pads of the thumb, use both thumbs, just work into the pads of the toes, pads of the, all along your feet, everywhere along the sole. Might feel tight if the ligament's tight. Anywhere that's tight, give it a little bit of extra dispersing intention. Good. Then if we sit and just come, we can work up our spleen meridian. Our spleen meridian is connected to the earth element. The earth's very much about grounding and nurturing. It's on this front of the inside. So if we find our bone, our shin bone, and just nestle our thumbs into the, sorry, you can't see me very well, I'm wearing black. Nestle our thumbs into the flesh just underneath that bone. It might be very sensitive. So this is really good for digestion. You know, the earth is about digestion. It's about what nurtures us. Digestion of thoughts as well as food. It's good for fertility and blood because the earth is nurturing. For helping us feel grounded and supported. So just push your thumbs into that fleshy area under the bones, giving yourself a spleen meridian treatment. The more we do it, the easier it becomes, the less sort of stuck feeling or painful. That's really good. Working our spleen in the lower leg. So it's sort of the spleen, pancreas in Chinese, traditional Chinese medicine. So it's really good for sugar digestion as well, our metabolism. Good. Okay. And then sit with your feet together if you can. It's a good position for the heart. We're going to work kidney 1. So kidney 1 is a big point. It's in the V here. We've got the pad of the big toes and the pad of the other toes. And the point is up there. So it's like a third of the way down the foot and up between that V. We can just put our thumbs into that point on both feet and hold them and just come back to our breath again. So it's very grounding. This energy is the first point in the kidney meridian. It's called bubbling springs. It's very much about the energy that we get from the kidney meridian, the water element, the energy that we can draw up from the earth. It's good for bringing our energy down and grounding us. It's great if we're going to faint or our energy is low. So just nestle your thumb in and hold and breathe for a few breaths. Again, it's a point we don't use so often in pregnancy because it has a downward expelling action. It's great for headaches, if you faint, and for our general energy. So you can just, we've nearly done an hour of self-shiatsu, but just 2 minutes holding this point is self-shiatsu, it's self-treatment, it's effective. You can do it if you feel like your head's too busy to sleep. You can do it if you've got to do something and you feel a bit tired. 2 minutes of effective treatment just by connecting with yourself and with the point. So in the last few minutes, I just want to come to our hara again, which is where we started with our breath. We've done our head, our hands, a bit of our legs and our feet. We haven't really done much to our back, but let me just come to our hara. So this is our center of energy in Shiatsu. We can rub around, coming down on the left and up on the right. We can also give ourselves a little treatment just before, we've just got a few minutes before we finish. What we can do is very Japanese. You can do it lying on your back if you want. We're going to use our fingers sort of like that. So our fingers are sort of like that. And we're going to just sort of lean forward onto our abdomen. So this is called ampuku, which is self-abdominal massage. It's something we do a lot in Shiatsu. We diagnose from here. We've got reflex areas we diagnose from. But it's really good if you're feeling tight in your liver or tight in your stomach or there's blockages in your intestines. So you could do it, if you can't kneel, you can do it lying on your back and you just go around in a circle. So it's always clockwise. Going up on the right, because that's following the direction of the intestine. So if you want to lie on your back, you can. But if you want to do sitting, you just, I'm aware we're coming to the end, but if you just put your fingers in and just take your time to drop forward on an out breath. And that just gives you a moment to massage into the intestine if there's any blockage, and then you come up. You move your fingers around in a clockwise direction, breathe out, drop onto your fingers. As you let the whole of your out breath It's another thing that's good for sleep as well. So breathing in, and as you come forward, just breathe out onto your fingers, soft fingers. Really good if your liver's tight. Just breathe in and come forward onto that liver area. The right side of the ribs is going to be quite tight. Just let the breath ease it out. You can stay in places that you feel tight for longer and just let your fingers and the breath massage some softness into the area. Or you can, if it feels free, there's no blockages, you can just move around however you feel. Nice, long, big breaths. You can make a sound if you want as you let go of any tension. Really beneficial for all over health. It's both calming and enlivening. When you finish, just finish with your fingers at the bottom, so underneath your belly button. So that's sort of your center of gravity, your center of energy. So just finish there. And we'll just breathe in together a couple more breaths before we finish. Keeping your breath nice and relaxed and long, long in-breath, long out-breath into your belly. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me.